Well, greetings, folks. Happy New Year, and welcome to the very first Snow Church of 2023. I'm your host, Rev Snowflake, and I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. I don't know if you can see, but these are real tears that I have coming down this morning. Not because I'm crying. Because my eyes are watering. At any rate, let's jump into this one, shall we? We're looking at the 3 days snowfall accumulation ending this morning. And yes, I lied in my write-up this morning. I said things were quiet. I forgot that there were some light snows that fell across, I guess you could say, the Northwoods. On New Year's Eve and very early morning hours of New Year's Day. In fact, we were out, as the D's do every year, celebrating New Year's, celebrating the new arrival of the new year outside. For some reason, we got going on that kick, and we've just been doing it. Now, I don't spend much time outdoors normally because it's usually pretty cold. This year was an exception. It was about 29 degrees and snowing lightly. So, and then we woke up to about 2 inches of fresh snow yesterday morning. At any rate, not a whole lot that came down. And as we go to the current conditions now, this beautiful radar map, we can see some snow starting to break out across North Dakota and South Dakota. And this system, the models finally came to agreement on things. I guess they were in pretty good agreement on Friday, but better agreement over the weekend, and then they just all made some changes in the last day or so, I guess we could say, and I'll get to those changes in just a moment. But the bottom line is there will be some pretty heavy snows. Let's get out the magic pen here. In these areas, right about like that, upwards of 10 to 12 inches, maybe even a foot plus in areas. But then as the low, I'm talking about the changes right now, couldn't wait. Then as the low works through the Midwest, it's going to be losing some of its upper air support. Not a lot. It's just not a well-organized system, and it'll be falling apart even more. So, while we're talking about 12 inches maybe in those areas, by the time we get to about here, this is going to be 1 to 3 inches of snow. Not 1 to 3 feet, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Yuck. So let's jump to the models, and they will basically verify what I'm talking about here. This is the European model, and you can see how those snows pile up in Nebraska pretty nicely, and do so the same in a good chunk of Minnesota, just the far southwest corner. I will say the models aren't in perfect lockstep agreement with each other. The European is a little further south with the snows than the GFS, and my forecast is sort of a compromise between the two. At any rate, here we are by Wednesday night. There'll be some lingering snow showers even beyond this, but really this is what we're looking for as far as totals from the European for this system. Look at the Keweenaw. Well, let's just zoom in on the Midwest. But look at the Keweenaw. Not even really supposed to get hardly anything. Same thing with like the Paradise Whitefish Point towards Grand Marais. Barely anything out of this system. Boo-hoo. Minneapolis 11.5, and then we've got these totals right here. Look at, well, I guess I won't draw, but nice orange totals are certainly over 15, 16 inches of snow. We'll see if that happens, but at any rate, that's the ideas from that model. And then you can see the GFS This is a little bit more. I don't want to go to Sunday though. Let's back this off. Let's go to where are we at here? All right, this is Thursday morning, and again I'll zoom in on this to show you the snowfall outlay, and you can see how the two models are a little off in their placement, but not drastically so. The overall theme is that this is going to be the area of heaviest snows and then much lighter snows as you get east of the Mississippi and east of the St. Croix rivers there. And the even sadder news for these areas is that it looks as though as we go out through the rest of the week, the weekend and the early part of next week, look at that. Barely anything. I mean, here we are going out 240 hours right now. Barely a lick of new snow for like Thursday, Friday of this week, the weekend, and then into Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. There are ideas that the pattern will become a little bit more active as we get into the middle part of the month. We'll see if that happens. It's a long way out. But if you kind of remember, things were pretty quiet the first half of December, and then we got more active for the second half. And the weather can like to repeat itself in both 7-day and 30-day cycles. I'm going to stick to my guns and say that that's somehow, or that was a big reason why we got weekly and month. We got weeks and months. I don't know. I haven't really Googled it to see if that's the truth, but I'll say it that the weather does like to repeat itself in both 7-day and 30-day cycles. The 7-day is more like if you had a storm on, whatever of, let's just say Tuesday, Wednesday of last week, then this week, it'd be somewhere around that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame that you might have another one. The 30-day is more of a broad scale, like, was it above average temperatures? Then yeah, you might get into a period where you my brain is somewhere else right now. But let's just say like the first half of December, like I'm saying now, first half of December was pretty quiet. Well, first half of January, pretty quiet. Might not follow it exactly, but the overall trend would be the same. Second half of December was more active, so we'll see if the second half of this January is more active. But that's what we're looking at right now. I mean, there's still a good amount of snow on the ground up here. Don't let me scare you into thinking about canceling plans or anything like that. The other good news is that other than the eastern half of the UP and a good chunk of the Northwoods of lower Michigan being above freezing today, it doesn't look like the Northwoods themselves will be getting into the thaw zone. There could be a little bit of light rain before a changeover to snow in places like northern Wisconsin with this system that's coming here in the next couple of days, but very, very light before it would change to snow. And any of the heavier rains be falling from, probably about this area southward. So, the conditions are not going to be going downhill or anything like that. It's just the fact that we're not getting a whole lot of new snow. And what can I say? It's kind of a depressing forecast for the Northwoods of Wisconsin, the UP, and lower Michigan. Minnesota, pretty good forecast, especially for central Minnesota. Folks there will be happy about the new snows that they get and the fact that it's not going anywhere. Northern Minnesota, not a whole lot of new snow, but they got a lot of snow on the ground. So I don't know. I'm one of those glass is half full kind of guys, and always looking for the good things rather than things that are bad. So that's my take on it. I guess I will shut her down for this morning. Have a great one, everybody, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Maybe with some changes, you never know.